All right, we are live. It is Fright Night with Ferocious Fee. We are having a post-Christmas podcast. It seems everybody is still enjoying their Christmas. So Fuzzy has not been podcasting as much.
Are you
Yeah, one
sad?
this morning.
Well, yeah. I mean, for the most part, let everybody enjoy the holiday. Although more or less like evening podcasts, everybody's already either partaken in dinner or done their return. So we can entertain them either while they're on the way back home from doing returns or whatever kind of thing. So
Oh yeah, it is one of them return days.
Yeah.
I'm sure Amazon is stocked with employees right now, processing them returns.
yeah.
Not the unionized ones.
Oh, that's true. Go unions.
Yeah. Go unions.
Hey, first of all, y'all know I'm a teacher, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
union.
Mhm.
Oh, I
Not
know all
saying
the teachers' unions up here.
yeah, well, I'm not saying my union's the best, but once in a while they get it right.
Ours is the most powerful one in Canada.
Well, Canada has some other problems.
Mm-hmm. His
Um,
name is Justin.
well, no. Trump is not much better. Just to let you know, and I do realize he made an offer to you guys, but yeah, I'm gonna suggest you not take it.
It's
Um,
it'll never happen.
yeah, there's a lot of strings attached to there. I'm just saying.
You don't want protection? No protection from
It'll never happen.
Mm.
actually, actually, they think Trump is joking.
I honestly
Um,
think he's just trying to troll people just to see what people would say and do.
well, yeah. Plus, he prefers Greenland for some odd reason.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
me too.
and Panama Canal.
Warmer
Those are his
weather.
two focuses.
It's warm
Yeah,
weather down there. So
yeah, yeah. I just don't understand Greenland. Greenland was specifically um named Greenland as a protection means um for Iceland. So I just really don't see the motivation. But anyway, um so yeah, it's part of my history teaching. Anyway, we are here with Kaneda, and we're here with Fuzzy and myself. I guess I can do some short introductions. So
Mhm.
Kaneda, what you been up to?
Christmas and life, man. That's it. Just Christmas and life. Nothing too exciting. Played a little bit of the new Indiana Jones games because I'm going to make you uncomfortable now because I know you love this. Played some of the new Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is
Mhm.
a phenomenal game. It's
Yes.
outstanding game actually, but I have a problem with it, and that is that it crashes about every 15 minutes on one of my systems.
Mhm.
But the other one it doesn't. But the one where I primarily spend my time gaming, it crashes all the time. So I put it on hold until like the next patch, which I'm hopeful is soon, and we'll fix some things. Um, and also I picked up uh, the latest Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and
Nice.
I wasn't gonna do it um, at all. I was gonna completely skip that game because I didn't really enjoy the beta that I played, and I found that the controlling just for doing certain things like the combos and stuff like that was just too much for my brain. Like I don't want to have to do like 4 button combinations just to pull off a move. But
Yeah.
for $5 for like the ultimate version of the game that comes with all the DLC and all that other stuff, I was like,
Can't
I
pass
mean,
that up.
I'd be kind of foolish not to get it, right? So I downloaded that. There is a good game in that. They're really like through some of the decisions that they made that I don't particularly enjoy, like I said, some of the how they control things and stuff like that, and I don't love. But by and large, I think that is actually it's a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that I tried convincing a couple of my buddies to get it, and maybe we can get some 4-player co-op going because I think that I bet that game shines like a beautiful diamond when you're playing with your friends. I bet it's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't picked it up yet, but from a lot of my friends that have, yeah, it's almost like the same thing with like Helldivers too. I mean, it's an enjoyable game by yourself. It can be a bit more difficult, but with friends, yeah, it elevates it tenfold. I mean, there's a lot of enjoyment in the game, from what I heard, as far as for like looter shooter fans. It definitely scratches that itch type of thing, but when you're in a group with your friends and you're trying to plow through enemies or trying to track down like the Flash or something like that, yeah, it definitely steps up on the fun scale. So
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty much what I've been. Oh, sorry. Also, Santa Claus delivered us a game for the PlayStation, Astrobot for the family,
nice.
and we've been playing that the last couple of days a bit too. And that game is just that is a real sweet game. It's well made. It's beautiful. The graphics are fun and enjoyable and vibrant. The gameplay and controlling is tight. There's a couple mechanics that I wasn't super fussy on at first, but once I got the feel for it, then it wasn't so bad. But that is a fun game. My wife and my daughters and I, well, my oldest, still hasn't picked up a controller yet, but we've been enjoying the hell out of that. So that's
Nice.
that's what I've been up to, and I've watched a couple movies here and there. But Christmas season is all Christmas movies all the time, essentially here in our house. So I haven't really watched a lot of the newer things, but tonight's agenda is the new movie Werewolves.
Hmm.
That just came out at the beginning of the month, and it's now available on VOD. So I'll be catching that later today.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So Fuzzy, you are limited to a few minutes about gaming, not the whole hour.
Well, yeah, for the most part, I've been playing a good bit of games as well. Yeah, I totally agree with Kaneda on you know uh, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. If you have an Xbox or you have a PC, definitely don't deprive yourself of playing this game. If you have a PlayStation, you want to wait, yeah, by all means, whenever this comes out, I guess in spring or fall or spring or summer of next year, probably sometime around May or so. Definitely a worthwhile pickup. If you're into open world games and like to explore, it'll scratch that itch kind of thing for you as well. I always found myself going off on the beaten path and finding either an artifact or like some notes or some extra money so I can get some more books, and books help you learn some abilities to fight better or don't use as much energy climbing and stuff like that. I mean, there's just so much to this that I enjoyed on that game, and I wasn't expecting that much out of it. I was expecting kind of like a first person Uncharted or Tomb Raider on a smaller scale, and didn't realize that there was a lot to this. Like I understand they were probably developing this, far beyond the time frame when Xbox acquired Bethesda, but yeah, it is a great game. Like it's a shame it missed Game of the Year nomination time frame, but hopefully it gets remembered because this one is definitely a standout.
It's gonna get lost on the shuffle next year. That 2025 looks like it's gonna be absolutely jammed with things, and
yeah,
I struggle to think that people are gonna be like, oh, maybe we should put up and consider Indiana Jones for Game of the Year because it came out 12 months ago.
yeah. Hopefully it gets remembered. I think was it Judas, which is like the BioShock developers' new game. I think that's targeted for this year.
Mhm.
Fable looks like it might have a few surprises to it as well. That might be a consideration. Ghost of Yotai is more than likely going to get considered as well. And if I forget his first name, was it Joseph Ferris? His new
Mhm.
game that he showed at the Game Awards. That
Yep.
I mean, he always gets nominated, and rightfully so. So
Yeah, he
yeah,
does well. And
yeah.
the last I'd heard, well, I mean, maybe I don't know if it's still gonna happen. I doubt it, but maybe we'll see Grand Theft Auto. I don't even know anymore. I can't like. I know they said 2025, but
hmm
I'd be shocked if it didn't slip to summer 26.
Yeah.
But like if
No,
that game comes out next year, like everything else might as well just pack it in and be like, yeah, here you go.
there'll be like the first half of the year, and then there'll be GTA 6 the rest of the year. Kinda,
Correct.
yeah, it's like every game will move out of its way. But yeah, as a gamer, 2025 is going to be a bit ridiculous. Clear that backlog. Be
Mhm.
prepared to have a lot of games to choose from. I recommend Game Pass to kind of save a few bucks here and there.
Yep.
Steam sales, we'll see what that looks like, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some horror games. I put one in the chat where it's like
Yeah.
some sort of like I can't even remember the name of it. I just know that like you're laying in the bed and they're eating your intestines while you're in the bed. So yeah, there's some good ones that are on the horizon. So yeah,
Some
gaming.
brain cage, that one.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a lot of games for this coming year, but hopefully everybody celebrates the holidays, had a good one. Definitely stuffed myself a good bit. Wife laid out a great meal for the holidays, and yeah, we enjoyed a more of a quiet holiday this year.
Uh-oh.
Time, but when I saw it in theaters, it really catches your attention in that first 10 minutes type of thing,
Okay,
and I was
we're,
hooked on the seat ever since.
so Fuzzy, we're gonna have you summarize that because we lost you for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess my mic is cutting out. No, I was going to say, in summary, games are going to be awesome for this year. Some horror games, blah blah blah. But getting into the movie, those first 10 minutes for Smile 2 definitely hooked me in there, because that was not expecting that kind of start.
So yes, we were talking about Smile 2, and I know that Fuzzy had commented a few times about how he never actually finished the first one before he saw the second one. And the only reason he saw the second one is because we had gotten advance tickets and he went by himself. So I was at class. So yeah, he went. Did you actually go back and watch Smile 1? Because we can discuss a little later on why you didn't finish Smile 1, but did you ever go back and actually finish it?
No, I still need to do that. I mean, I can talk about it now, why I didn't
Yeah, I
finish
might
my
as well
one.
talk about it now.
Like, there are some movies where you can see a plot thing getting ready to happen like a mile away. And there are certain ones that I just can't deal with or tolerate. Well, it's not tolerate, but it's like, yeah, you're going to lose me on this, because it's just it puts a picture in my head that takes a while to go away, kind of thing. And that was the anything involving like harm to animals kind of deal. And I could see the minute when she's shopping for the toy, and then I think she had to let the cat out the house before she went to the store or whatever. I'm like, they're going to have it where the cat's going to be in the gift box for her nephew or whatever. And I'm like, I could see it coming. And I'm like, no, please don't do this. Don't do this. Because if you do this, I'm turn this movie off. And the earlier parts with the mental hospital and all that stuff, great. Loved it. Was interesting and weird at the same time. But I'm like, I could see this coming a mile away. I'm like, she's going to somehow forget that she put the cat in the box, and sure enough, that's what it was. And I was like, click, power off. Oh, I'm done. And I haven't gone back since, kind of thing. I mean, it's not that I won't ever watch the movie. It's just, yeah, I'm not not in the mood to deal with that. Like, I just, you could show like a dead person, yeah, no problem. I can deal with that. Dead animals, come on. Like,
Cats don't bother me, but dogs would.
well, you're a dog person. I'm a
I'm
cat person.
definitely a dog person.
It's a little bit different. I mean, not that I would really tolerate it if it was a dog, but it's like I probably wouldn't have cut it off. But like cats, like I don't know. It's just me being a cat person, hence my avatar and whatnot. But
Right.
yeah, that was the only thing. Well, the only thing stopping me from completing Smile 1, but Smile 2 definitely started off with a bang, and I was hooked after that first 10 minutes. I was hooked the entire time. Um, yeah, there were some things you could kind of see from a mile away as well with that, but it wasn't like, okay, they're going to bring back something from the previous one with a dead animal. It's like, yeah, and so it was a lot more tolerable, I guess you could say.
Sure.
Yes, Fuzzy is a very big cat person. And I'm gonna say that he likes female cats better because apparently they are more calmer. So
Well,
you should.
when you have multiple cats, yeah, they're probably the more calm. If it
Yeah,
was just Morris, it would be fine. But you said he needed a buddy for whatever reason. He didn't
he
need a buddy.
needed a buddy.
No, he didn't.
He needed a
No,
buddy.
he didn't.
So that's our first two. The other three came because we had, we inherited them from deaths in the family. But two of them are female cats, and we had acquired them. Ellie from his sister, and Heidi from my mom.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a trip, but whatever it is, Fuzzy always is very sweet to the two little girls.
Well, they listen more so. I mean, Morris still listens. Foamy is a pain, and Murphy is autistic, so it is what it is.
Anybody want an autistic cat?
No.
I'm not making fun of autism in any way. It's just if you saw how all the cats interact with each other, you would see similarities of what you would expect for somebody on that spectrum to do around other people. That's what he does around the other cats, and he looks surprised when they hiss at him or smack at him. Like, why'd you do that? I'm just here in your face for whatever reason. Or he'll go off in the corner. He's actually locked himself in a drawer under a bed, and then he wonders when somebody's going to help him get out of there, kind of thing. So there's a number of other things, but he's definitely different. I don't know. I didn't know orange cats were weird, although Morris was fine when he was by himself, but Murphy is like he has the Highlander disease. I think I mentioned this before. He can be the only orange cat in the house with a tail because he will try and chew Morris's tail off. So you have to always keep them separate. So yeah, that's so. But the other ones, the worst is the Heidi now is being more bold and getting on like things like tables, which they're not allowed to be on tables, but she waits until I'm not in eyesight to do stuff like that. And yeah, so she gets a spray bottle.
We cleared off the table for Christmas dinner and stuff, and the very first thing I look over and I see Heidi laying on the table as if it was her bed. So yeah, I had to rewash the table again.
Yeah. So, but anyway, enough cat talk.
So I'm just saying, this is why Fuzzy turned the TV off, because he is a big cat person. And I think even that particular cat was one that you wanted at one point. It was similar to a Scottish fold, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think, but it was more of like the calico coloring or something, but
yeah, which
I can't remember right now.
Yeah, which we have calicos as well. So I'm just letting you know, if you are a huge cat person, it is going to be a problem. Smile 1 is going to be a problem, but Smile 2 is not. There were no animals even um, hinted at of being harmed in Smile 2. So I think that was a big change that a lot of people that are animal lovers will like. So that's +1, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So besides that improvement, the first 10 minutes you said, Fuzzy, was the best part of the movie. Canada,
I
do you
w-
feel the same way?
Actually, yeah, I would say that the first 10 minutes were without a doubt the most gripping and thrilling parts of the movie. I think. Um, yeah, trying to think. There was a part towards the end. It's really like right there, peaking at like right before the end, and I thought that was pretty cool. And
Mhm.
then I don't want to give stuff away, right? Because the movie's still relatively new, and some people might be looking to get into it. So I don't really want to get deep into the weeds about it. But if you've seen the first one, I mean, you should see the first one before you watch the second one, realistically. So, and they showed the creature in the first one at the end, and I thought the creature design was spectacular. I think that that moment was also really was a really good payoff in this one too. Um, yeah, I dug it, and also like, yeah, it was the first 10 minutes was without a doubt the best part. Um, I I gotta say though, this movie should have just been called Snot because there was snot everywhere, like just pouring down people's faces. And like, I know you might be like under duress or stressed out or something and
Mhm.
upset, but like anybody who's like really upset or something, you're probably wiping your face before you're just letting those big old slugs go dripping in your mouth. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying. It was gross. I think like of all the gore in the movie, I was like, yeah, awesome, yeah. I'm like, oh god, there's the snot again. I
Yeah.
don't know. Did you guys notice that, or is that am I just weirdo? Am I just a weirdo? Because I am
I,
kind
I
of.
noticed that on a couple of occasions for the main actress when she was on the verge of losing it a couple of times.
Yeah,
Like I'm like, that's I wouldn't say it's a bit much, but it's like, okay, I get it. Things are different or
stressful.
definitely, freaking you out, but
Hmm.
I don't know if I'm pretty sure I would, even though I'm not a fan of rubbing it on my sleeve kind of thing, but if there's no paper products available, I'm
Or
not
yeah,
afraid
your
to use my
sleeve, or
sleeves.
the bottom of your shirt, or you
Yeah.
know what? How about that dead body? They don't care.
Yeah, just pull one nostril, blow it over on them, with you know, they, they're bleeding out. They're done. They're
If
not going to make it.
if it was the first movie, use the cat. He also doesn't care. You know.
Oh
Oh.
my god, so poor.
Ah, I'm sorry. But yeah, it was a good movie, man. Like I I wouldn't say it's bad. It definitely did not. It didn't for me, anyways, live up to the same level as the first one did.
Hmm.
But you know what? It was a damn good sequel. Um, it also didn't like go way down either, right? Like the quality of the movie didn't like drop off completely either, which you can run into that a lot of times with horror films, I find.
Yeah.
So I think all in all, the movie's a win for me.
Hmm.
And you should definitely check it out. Um, I have to say though, at first, and I'm sorry, the actress's name escapes me, but she did absolutely nothing for me. At first, I was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like this movie because I don't think I like this actress. There's something about her that just was rubbing me the wrong way, and I
Hmm.
can't put my finger on what that was. But as the movie progressed and went on, I actually found myself really enjoying the performance.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I thought that was like it's kind of it's not common that you would see something like that from me. where I would kind of turn, like I would start off and not like something that I'm seeing or someone, a character or an actor, and then by the end of it, I'm like hoping that maybe they might be able to get from underneath whatever it is they're fighting or struggling to get come away from.
Yeah.
And I kind of was at the end, even though I know how it goes, right? Like there's there's no happy ending with rainbows and unicorns at the end of these movies. So, um, but yeah, I liked the ending too. I thought they stuck the landing really well.
Yeah.
So Naomi Scott is the actress for the main character. She, if anybody is not familiar with her work, she was in Charlie's Angels back in 2019. She was also the Pink Power Ranger in 2017. So
Okay.
she's kind of had that middle ground of you know, being in some, independence and also being in some bigger, things, but also she did Jasmine in Aladdin in 2019. So she's been in between doing kid stuff and doing adult, kind of like TV series and things like that. So yeah.
Well, it might open some doors for her. Is all I'm saying. Like that's good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
But
I
definitely
kind of
think
get. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying this I think helped her get her name
Yeah.
out because I don't think being the Pink Power Ranger did.
Probably not.
Well, it didn't do much for the other one either.
Exactly.
No, but she definitely showed some range, and it was one of those things you could see how her character progressed and how the character got there. And yeah, by the end, you are kind of rooting for her to kind of break the cycle type of deal. But yeah, just without spoiling it. Well, I don't know. If you're worried about spoilers, hang around at least until the end, or at least until I guess maybe we give our overall score, and then possibly unveil some spoilers, so at least some people kind of get to it.
How about this? How about this? We know what everybody knows what the ending's going to be, okay? But I don't think it's the ending that is what makes this particular movie. I think knowing the ending is still going to make you want to watch the movie, if you know what I'm saying. I don't think we should anything that was outside the trailer. I think those kind of things leading up to the end, I think we should maybe not talk about.
Okay.
But I think knowing at the end that she didn't make it, I mean, come on, it's a given. It's a given. But I think there's things in there that I think we should let the viewer watch.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the things that happen towards the end, maybe.
Yeah.
Definitely what happens. As far as some of her hallucinations that were going on, maybe keep some of those.
Well, one
under
thing,
wraps.
One thing that because I didn't watch all of the first one, I just want to confirm with you guys, and I'm figuring this is not going to be like a big type of spoiler type of thing, but the guy from like the first 10 minutes, is he like from the first movie as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That's the guy who gets to witness things at the first movie at the end.
Okay.
Yeah, that was so in the beginning. Remember, her ex-boyfriend was a cop. You didn't get that far?
No, I didn't get that far. Like I said, the cat situation.
So you met her current boyfriend in the
Okay, I think I do remember part of
Yeah.
the I guess what it would have been her ex or something like that.
Yeah, her ex was a police officer, so that was why the opening, I think, was that way, because he was trying to take a moral high road in order to beat the demon. Because if he goes after two drug dealers, he can still say, well, I didn't go for an innocent. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody
Yeah.
else did. Because remember, the one that was locked up was the only one that beat the demon and kept his life. And that was basically due to the fact that he gunned down some random person.
Mm.
And he wasn't trying to do that. Didn't
Makes
work,
sense.
but
No, but with that being kind of like a carryover for the first one, that makes me wonder how involved the beginning for a Smile 3 might be. But yeah,
Um,
those first 10 minutes definitely stuck with me.
Yeah. I did like the ending a lot because, and again, I don't want to get into spoilers, but that's going to open up a whole different thing, I
yes.
think, and that's
Yeah.
really kind of cool because as long as they can keep the writing clean and smart, right,
Mhm.
and the action and the horror aspects of it good. Like, I don't get creeped out by things, but like, you know, some people kind of like they look at that smile, you know, just a blank stare with a smile is unsettling. And
Mhm.
there was that one scene in her apartment where someone's, you know, looking at her. I was like, oh wow, that's like not scary to me, but that is effective, and I can see how that would be terrifying for
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. That was in the trailer. That
was
was in
it?
the trailer. The guys that the people that were in
No,
her
not that part.
apartment.
Not that part.
Oh,
No, I was thinking a different one.
a
Okay.
different one. Okay,
It was earlier than that.
it was earlier. Okay, okay.
That was really cool though. Like that had like this real artistic flair to it. I thought,
Yeah.
you know, and I appreciated that.
Well, the mirrors in the hallway kind of sold that whole
Mhm.
layout. Like that was definitely like a performance kind of thing, and that I guess fits with what her, you know, background is. You know, because we know she's kind of like, I guess, a pop singer, you know,
Yeah.
type celebrity. Like it, you know, it that those later scenes with her in her own apartment, that was freaking awesome. Like, and creepy all in the same vein, because you're not used to people kind of like well, I'm pretty sure dancers or performers can, you know, focus on one particular area and still perform without having it be a problem. But to have like a bunch of faces like fixated on you and they're, you know, moving in unison kind of thing,
Yeah.
just I think it would definitely be an unsettling thing for the average person. Not like if you were to see that, yeah, you would want to run away and hope that you can outrun all of them that are moving in unison towards you faster than you can, you know, turn around kind of thing. But that scene was another awesome part of it. But man, oh man, um, the hallucinations definitely help sell this movie as well. The fan that wants to or wanted the autograph and picture and was getting a bit grabby, which reminds me of when me and Matt were talking about uh, the like being in the line for one of the vixens from Scream or something like that, and the guy had like a shirt with her face on it and had like a poster where it was like all of her pictures in a heart shape kind of thing, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of the way that guy was. Just he looked a little bit more. Well, the guy at the convention looked a little bit more clean shaven. wasn't quite like as grungy kind of. Well, I wouldn't say grungy, but like that guy looked like he may have been homeless prior, kind of thing, before he got there for that autograph event type of thing. But yeah,
I think the little girl was creepier though.
yeah, big eyes, kind of a deer in headlights, but with that weird smile. Yeah, that is kind of creepy.
And she didn't talk whatsoever. I mean, at least the stalker guy did.
Yeah.
You kind of see where he was going with things, but she just kept staring. Even when she was taking the picture with her, she just kept on staring at her. And the assistant was like, "Yeah, that's good." I'm
He
like,
just wants to
this
move
doesn't.
people along in the line.
It's like no red flags here. Like, do people do this a lot?
I mean, I'll be honest. If I met Jennifer Lawrence, I would probably be the exact same way. Just a big stupid smile on my face, and like not a word would come out of my mouth. Because I'd probably be like drool. I'd be like, "You're pretty," or something stupid like that, right?
Oh my God.
Oh man.
I guess
Yeah.
it's different. I guess it's different for females because we don't really stare a lot. We can get out words and phrases when we're talking to these people, but I think our kind of nervous tick instead of being silent is just be very huggy sometimes with people that we've like adored through the movies and everything. Um we might stumble over a few words, but we never like sit there and stare. I think the worst thing I've ever heard was Norman Reedus. He was at a Walker Stalker event,
Mhm.
and one some random woman came up, and I guess she was just excited about meeting him.
Mhm.
Actually grabbed his hand and bit it as if she was a zombie.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, I think that was in
I,
the first 2 years.
And that's
I'm
how the
not
outbreak
understanding
starts.
what's the problem here.
I don't know what it was. I mean, she of course got in trouble for it, and Norman Reedus at that point, and I think a lot of the ones from Walking Dead were very adamant about certain provisions being put in place where fans couldn't just walk up to them. I think some of them stopped doing selfies with people because I think it was during a selfie that she
Mhm.
did it. But yeah, that's the worst thing I've heard. Besides, of course, some Gary Busey being sexually inappropriate with females and stuff like that. I mean, that's unfortunately kind of a norm with some of them.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as a fan doing something to a celebrity, I think that's the worst I've seen. They had zombie PTSD. Don't come near me. That's
Hey, if a
funny.
fan is biting me, yeah, I would be thinking to myself, that's how the outbreak starts. Like, have that person checked out. Well, first get them committed, and then do a test sample and make sure they don't have like monkeypox or something weird. Be like, yeah, we're gonna have to quarantine this whole event.
Yeah, that would not be good.
No,
But still, I'd bite too. But is that
but
wrong?
you'd bite them back, or you would be the one biting.
It really depends on the day, I guess.
So wait a minute. I saw that picture of the older woman apologizing for trying to bite Norma Reedus. She was too excited. Yeah, I think that goes beyond words. But yeah, bringing it back to the girl, I just thought it was so creepy. Because I am familiar with, the guys that are kind of too staring, too kind of stumbling over their words. And then they start saying inappropriate things. I've seen that a lot before. Um, part of that, I live in my mom's basement and I play video games all the time.
Hey, don't blame the video games. I mean, they can
Don't
live in
play
their
the
mom's
video
basement, but don't blame the video games.
Don't play the video games. So yeah, overall, what were the actual first thoughts?
I guess I'll start. My first thoughts on this film, past the 10-minute, the first 10 minutes and things like that, was that I was waiting for them to do like the flashback stuff of how she got to where she was, and I don't think this is a spoiler, but like considering that she's a music artist and she's trying to recover her career and whatnot, and it's from a major auto accident prior kind of thing. I was waiting for them to be like, okay, yeah, we're gonna do the flashback of the drive or the accident itself, which that scene was interesting, kind of what I kind of expected it would be. Them arguing and being over the top to each other kind of thing, but yeah.
I think they took from the real life inspiration of like Lindsay Lohan when she was going downhill, getting very argumentative, openly argumentative. You could see that she was on drugs. Her whole physical appearance was starting to decline as well.
Yeah.
So I think that's a given because the opening after the first sequence, we literally see her at a talk show, Drew Barrymore's talk show.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much like real world material that they can pull from, so it makes sense as far as her recovering or trying to reclaim her career, recovering from drug and alcohol abuse and whatnot, which could in the indirect way explain some of the hallucinations and until she needs a fix kind of thing. But the overbearing mom that is still pushing her like she's a Disney show host kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say my initial impressions were like, okay, they're loosely basing this off of a lot of stuff we've heard in tabloids and rumors and speculation on, some celebrities and stuff like that, or pop icons and whatnot. So good start. And I was just waiting for it to get creepy or get weird. And sure enough, going to one of her old friend's house, who's like, I guess was her supplier. That one was definitely on the weird side. I would say comparably to like the first movie, almost like not as creepy as the the guy talking to himself in the examination thing where the lady has him either restrained or whatnot, but like not too far from it kind of thing. And you're trying to figure out, did this guy just get a bad batch of stuff or is something else going on? And you kind of quickly realize something else is going on, especially when he kind of goes silent and then comes running out kind of thing. But yeah, that good start to it. Definitely took a while to kind of catch some of the things that may have been hallucinations that you kind of expect or accept as actual events in the movie type of thing. But they even had hallucinations for us that we kind of go along with as well. But yeah, that definitely a great start. How about you, Kaneda?
What about you, Kaneda?
Well, like I said, I think that it was a really good good follow up to the first movie. As long as they're able to maintain a high level of writing and production, because I think that some of the shots in that movie were really cool too. They've got themselves a franchise that could go on for a long time. I like the series, or I guess it would be a series now. I like it a lot, and I'm in for the ride with anything else that comes out for the new ones. Because I think they just announced that there was going to be a third one, not in 25 but 26, didn't they? I thought I read somewhere that there was already a green light for Smile 3.
That'd be awesome.
Well, I mean that's kind of a given. I think this the ending would have actually been, in my mind, this should have been the third one when it comes to the ending. I just
Maybe.
think I just think it might be too big.
It's a big issue now.
I don't think it's a big issue. I just think I think the universe now is too big.
Right.
You know, we went from this folklore um kind of path for the demon
Mm-hmm.
into an expansive universe for him. And
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if that's doable for the third one.
I
I
guess
don't know.
that
That's
Like
a big ask.
I get what you're saying. Like without giving anything away, it's like it's impossible to actually say without saying something.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's I think it's doable, and it does open up like a lot of opportunity for some really
Mhm.
cool things. I think
Yeah.
so. Uh, I I know that like the ending was for some people maybe a little bit surprising. It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I kind of
Yeah.
had a feeling that I knew the way it was going to go about 15 or 20 minutes into the movie.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I still say that they can absolutely do it, but they got to make sure that the people that are writing it are smart about it,
Yeah.
and they don't do something corny like wake up
And
and
that's what I
oh my
mean.
god, it was all just a dream.
Yeah, I
I
was just
mean,
about to say it can't be one of those nightmare scenarios type of thing.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I just let's take a look at some other ones that have been successful in their second rounds of the trilogy. So to my mind, Hostel fits that bill. Hostel was good, but then we got a female version of it, and there was a lot more visuals, a lot better story, um, a little bit more in depth to the story instead of an introduction like they did in Hostel. But then the third one comes out, and it's like, what the hell did you do?
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you guys can think of another trilogy in horror that fits that bill where it was great for the first and second one. Second one even topped the first one, but
Scream.
the third one they just
It's,
got too over themselves about it.
I
Scream.
wouldn't say it's well, yeah, I could see that with Scream, but I was thinking like what was it, Devil's Rejects and whatnot. Like I
Yeah.
love
Yeah.
the first two. The third one was I wouldn't say it was like a send in kind of thing, but it was.
Mhm.
I don't think it was as grabbing as the first two. But that's just
Yeah.
me on that one.
Yeah,
I
but
actually like the third one better than the first two.
yeah. I think with Rob Zombie, because he hasn't come out with a third Halloween.
Yeah.
The second one, but with his trilogy, the first one was great. The second one, in my mind, was better. The third one was good. But not having Sid Haig in that because of his illnesses,
Yeah.
um, was basically rewritten at that point. And I think that's where this some people think it's great and some people don't. Because a lot of people like me wanted to see Sid Haig. We wanted to see him. We wanted him to have his kind of final send off, and we didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? We got him sitting in a jail cell,
Mm.
basically wasting away, and that's it. Whereas, baby got out and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So it also went from kind of this Texas Chainsaw fantasy type feel, this vivid hallucinogenic, dream kind of thing vibe in the first one to actual kind of real life, this could possibly happen type situation when they went out onto the road. So I think if you're a true fan of Rob Zombie, none of it's gonna matter. You're still gonna love it.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about biting off more than you can chew. And I think that's maybe what they did here.
Mm.
and I'm just wondering. I'm still skeptical. Can they not jump the shark?
I think
I'm saying.
whatever the first, let's say, probably give them 30 minutes of the third one. That will be
Mhm.
the determining factor, because that will probably give them ample time to get things sorted on the first wave of you know, interactions and things along those lines. But I think they could pull it off. Now, coming from someone that didn't finish the first one, love the second
Yeah.
one, I think they could pull it off. Like if the first 10 minutes are an indication on the carryover from the next one, I look forward to how that pans out for the third one, because I think that will be the make or break to some extent, and then it could probably settle down from there, or maybe it's just utter chaos the entire way. But
Mhm.
I think that will give um, them enough to work with, and if they're, like Kaneda said, if they're smart about it with the writers, they have a couple of golden avenues to approach on that. So I think it's doable, but third movies sometimes, yeah, they sometimes don't live up to the earlier ones. Not saying that with the Devil's Rejects, it was just the last scene, or the the shootout kind of thing that
Yeah. I mean, the second one shootout was that that is just phenomenal compared to, so much stuff that's come out in the years. I mean, that was similar to what you would have seen, back in like the 70s, early 80s, as far as shootouts and stuff like that. I think that was definitely a grindhouse moment that Rob Zombie put in there in the second one. That was just one of the best. But compare that to the third one in the shootout. No, that's typically what we see in a lot of shootouts towards the end of a lot of, most of the movies, action movies and stuff like that. So it was really typical, and I could see why a lot of people didn't really like it. Um, but I just, like I said, if this doesn't take 2 years plus to make and put together, from start to finish, at least 2 years, if not three, I'd be really skeptical about going in and watching it.
Yeah, we'll see, or they
Oh,
could
oh,
surprise us
so
all.
yeah. I just want to highlight something.
What's
Yeah,
that?
Canada, we get it.
Work things, man. It blew up in my face at 3:45 today.
Yeah. So he's got to be out of here in a couple minutes, in
Okay.
like 5. So,
Mhm.
Well,
but yeah,
let's.
go on, Fuzzy.
No, I was going to say, well, let's get to like our overall rating for
Yeah.
this. Like, I think that's probably the big thing, and then we can, either, if we want to mention spoilers for those, like
Mhm.
after we give our rating, then that
Yeah.
would be, listen at your own risk kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, Kaneda, we'll start with you. What would you give this as far as your overall rating?
I'm not a numbers guy. I don't do numbers. I don't do grading. At school,
Okay.
I'm terrible at school. I don't grade things with A, B, whatever, or anything like that. But I will say that if you like horror movies, if you enjoy a creepy factor to things, if you like really nice, like honestly, there was some really nice cinematic shots and some really good
Mhm.
gore. You're bound to have a hell of a good time. Even like even if you took out the opening 5-10, it's still a very fun horror film, and it's
Mhm.
great. It's a great Friday evening watch. Like
Mhm.
that's all I can say about that. Like that's really how I look at it.
That's a good enough, reference or referral kind of like thing. Like watch as opposed to avoid, like some of
Mhm.
the earlier
Yeah.
films we may have had to review and stuff like that before. Yeah, I totally agree with this is a definite worthwhile watch in that regard. Like for me, as far as a number, if I was to give it a number, I would say this is a solid 8. Enjoyable. Um, are there better horror films out there that deal with potential supernatural or demons? Yeah, but this one was definitely a fun one. Loved, like Nana said, with the visuals. There are scenes in her apartment, like her her dancers. That part that was awesome to see. The first 10 minutes and just the how quickly the camera follows the one actor from the previous one around. That was also awesome to see, and then just how it came to its climax, kind of thing, just set that off. Um, the performances on stage, if you're into pop singers and whatnot, they definitely did some great camera work, and then the hallucinations were top notch on that and how that stuff worked out. But I give it a solid 8. Agree with
You know,
Kaneda. Definitely
I
watch.
I'm not into pop music. It's not my thing. But
Hmm.
that song that she was singing in it was
Hmm.
oddly catchy.
Yeah,
Like full marks to whoever did that, I think.
yeah. It's like it's almost like they modeled this after a real person kind of thing,
Mhm.
and the actress definitely fit the bill. She, like you said, it was like a character. It was more of like a character arc thing. In the beginning, you were kind of like, oh, she's gonna be a druggie, this, but towards the end, you're like, come on, you got to get away. You got to get out of this kind of thing, and
Mhm.
whatnot. But yeah, I enjoyed it all the way through. Definitely a worthwhile watch. What about you, Fee?
So I like the visuals, I like the hallucinations. I think the end made sense, and everything. But I think her whole underlining motivation to be in that situation was a little cliche. Um, so I think they went a little lazy on that. I think they should have done something more than, to really impact the ending, be more impactful on that. I think that should have been more in the beginning rather than, all about the drug use and getting into a car accident. And I just think that there was too much focus on that compared to, leading up to the end and why everything occurred the way it occurred. So I would honestly say 7.5. I mean, it's definitely above Smile 1, considering that, I'm also a cat person and I didn't like the whole cat thing. And the visuals in Smile 1 weren't as good as the visuals in this one. Um, so yeah, I think this was better. But I'm still worried about 3 and pulling that
Fret not,
off.
my friend.
Yeah.
I'm just saying they come out with it next year. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait
Okay.
until everybody else sees it.
All right.
Well,
And I was told to leave Lindsay alone.
Yes. Poor Lindsay.
So
yeah.
we
Although
know you
the
have to run
lawsuit
off.
against, I'm sorry, just real quick, the lawsuit against Rockstar, that was probably a bit on the nose, but but yeah, Kaneda, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Greatly
It's all good.
appreciate you. Always love hearing your outlooks on movies and things like that. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media and any events or anything special you got going on outside of the holidays and whatnot. Let everybody know.
Mm. You can find me mostly on Twitter at Xbox Canada. It's still Twitter, folks, not X. It's still Twitter.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Yes.
And I
I
tweet
support that.
things. And that's a bit. And then sometimes I'll do poorly done reviews for my website or my YouTube channel, Secret HQ Reviews. But I don't know. It might be time to sunset all that stuff. I just don't have the time these days, and I got other things that I'm gonna play around with. So we'll see.
You can always do a review on Indiana Jones. I know it's past the normal 24 hours from launch kind of thing, but
they need to get me a patch that will make the game stable so I can play it before I can do a review.
Okay. And Fee, let everybody know where they can find you, or do you want to continue and possibly talk spoilers?
I think we can leave it alone because I don't want to upset
Ruin
Kaneda with spoilers.
It won't upset me as long as you give fair warning that there's spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Like at my old podcast, we used to do like non-spoiler talk, and then we'd be like, okay, this is your moment right here to bounce out because we're about to blow it up. And then we get into the spoiler cast part of it, and that's always fun. But unfortunately, I don't have the cycles today to do that.
No, it's fine. We can let everybody go and stuff like that because it is still, the holidays, and maybe cut it short. Our show next week might be a little longer because it's after the holidays technically.
So let everybody know where they can find you, Fee.
So I am also on Twitter. Yes, we call it Twitter here. Hopefully it goes back to being Twitter eventually. Also Blue Sky. So you can always make comments on YouTube, Fright Night with Ferocious Fee. Just put that in, it comes up. And then you can always email me at Gmail. I'm waiting for fans to email me and say, hey, I want to be on too. I'm waiting for that, guys. Like, Ferocious Fee 78 at gmail.com. If you want to be on, just let me know. What about you, Fuzzy?
Oh, it was awesome being on here with you guys. Love talking movies, and this one was an enjoyable one for me. Thanks to everybody for coming out. If you want to hear any of my rambles and rants on anything gaming or horror related, just follow me on Twitter or the app formerly known as Twitter at Fuzzy_Belvedere. Also on Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, and YouTube. Just do a search for Fuzzy Belvedere. You'll find me. And look forward to seeing hopefully everybody in the chat and checking us out next Friday at 6 p.m. same time next week. Have a good weekend and happy holidays.